What's good, what's good, what's good? Aquí andamos on another episode of Con Puros Compas podcast. Su compa Carlos Rodriguez.
Su compa El Bardo.
And today, bro, we got one of the A-Town's finest.
A-Town in the house.
A-Town is in the house. Hey, you've been coming through with the A-Town guests, bro.
Hey, we got a little
had to
something out there. We got a little something out there.
You do. So today we got one of Aurora's finest out there. Mi compa, because you're from A-Town, lo voy a dejar que lo presente usted machín, compadre.
Hell yeah, compa. I had told you about this dude since we started the podcast. I'm like, this is also a fellow podcaster. The guy's a comedian and has been doing his fucking thing, man. La neta, I follow a lot about what he's got going on. He's at the fucking big clubs out here in the city, the Zanies, the Laugh Factories. So he's doing his thing for sure, man. So we're gonna present our boy from Talking My Shit podcast, Ken Flores. Mr. Too Skinny.
Yo, what up, man? Thank you guys for having me, man. Appreciate it, man. I've been watching y'all and what y'all doing. I swear every time I see another podcast pop on my timeline, it's y'all. So, so in a way, y'all the competition. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I'm happy to be here. You feel me? It's a pleasure.
Hell yeah. We're about to get some of Too Skinny's people, subscribing over here, man.
Hell yeah, I'm going to bring all the homies over here and shit. And likewise, you know what I'm saying? Vice versa. If y'all listen to this shit, man, go fuck with me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Check it out.
Bro, my boy Bart had mentioned to me, and then I had actually seen you because you had popped up on our Facebook feed, and I seen like, hey, you know, I know this guy. Well, I know he's from A-Town. I'm like, well, let's bring him on. Let's bring him on because then he told me you had a podcast, and that you know the whole comedy scene is something that is very interesting to me, and I don't know much about it, if anything and shit. So I'm gonna ask you some fucking probably some beginning ass questions when it comes out of comedy scene.
Nah, that sounds good to me. You know, I feel like most of the people that listen to this podcast is because of the music and obviously the guests you guys have had. But I'm happy to be the first comedian and shit. I'll let y'all know all about the comedy shit, man.
Bro, how long have you been doing that for then? The whole comedy scene?
Stand-up comedy itself, I've been doing it for like 4 years, dog. I started like in 2018 is when I started. But like I've been doing like comedy as far as like comedy on itself, because I started off with YouTube. So I used to do like YouTube skits. Like you remember like Chicago had Sergio Rasta back in like 2015 and shit. Yeah. Mexican Moms Be Like, shit like that. I put out my own type of content, you feel me? Like one of my videos ended up going viral, was on World Star and shit. So I kind of had like I already had like the premise of, I like to make people laugh, and I like the instant gratification is what they call it when you're on the internet and a video does numbers or a podcast does numbers and shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of already had that feeling, but then you know, I stopped doing comedy for a little bit as far as like YouTube and stuff, probably from like 2013 to like 2017, 2018.
Oh shit.
And then I stopped doing it. Stopped doing YouTube, stopped doing everything, and I wanted to come back in the game, like back into YouTube. But like, you know, you get older. I'm 25 now. You know, I was like, I can't really.
Oh, you're young.
Yeah, but I feel like I was too old to put on wigs and do sketches and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do real comedy, like comedy where I can make people laugh genuinely, and I don't gotta act like a girl, shit like that. You feel me? And nothing wrong with that either. But
you were out there really putting on wigs and shit.
Yeah, I was, bro. Damn. I have a lot of like little sketches and shit like that. But I started doing stand up itself. Yeah, like 4 years ago is when I started. Yep.
Damn, that is fucking nuts. Yeah. And then he got one. Yeah. You guys are good?
Relax, Jose. Relax.
Tranquilo, Jose. Tranquilo.
Fucking podcast just started. They got 7 blunts in rotation. Goddamn it!
Hey, that's what happens with our smoking section, man. They be wildin'.
Y todavía no llegan todos. And then, are you fluent in Spanish or are you?
Yeah, hablo español, inglés.
So do you do the whole fucking Spanish comedy too, bro, or not really?
I've never done it before, bro.
Okay.
I came out here. I used to eat a lot with my family at the restaurant Lobo del Mar. I'm not sure if you guys.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Marisco spot.
Yeah.
And the manager there, my dad, you know, told him he's a comediante, whatever. He's like, we'll come do a show here, but it gotta be in Spanish. And like, honestly, I think I could do it, but I've never done it. And comedy's one of those things that like, there's no way of like knowing if you're good without doing it. Like you have to do it and then fail in front of people to know that it doesn't work, you know, because like I feel
that's
like
what I heard. You got to bomb, right?
Yeah, you have to, because it's like music, you could practice, by yourself in front of nobody until you're good enough to go in front of people, and then you know that okay, I'm good enough. I'm gonna do a concert. Or I'm gonna play una tocada, whatever, you know.
Right.
But with comedy is like, well, I think it's funny, but I don't know. I guess I gotta
Yeah, you need to see
fucking
reaction.
find out, you know.
Fuck
And
yeah.
then you can have the funniest thought in your head, and then you go in front of a crowd or at an open mic or at a show, and you do the joke or you do the story, whatever, and you realize they don't think it's funny at all. So
Yeah.
it's real like trial and error thing, and you have to fail in order to progress. But yeah, that's the only.
And then what part of Mexico are you from, bro?
My parents are from Guerrero, from Iguala Guerrero, bro.
Ah, shout out to all those
Shout out
people,
Iguala
bro.
Guerrero, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
Shout out to all the cochos out there. You feel me?
Cocho Arcelia.
Hell yeah.
And then how do you go about? I've always been interested in how comedians go about writing, bro. Are you like, obviously I see you're a smoker. Does that have a lot to do with your creativity, bro? Or what?
Bro, like I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like I got to a point as far as like smoking. I moved out of my parents' crib about a year and a half ago. So when you like moving, I got me and my roommate, which is JV. Shout out to my nigga JV. He's the video guy.
He's in the smoking section tonight.
Yeah, so
JV
so
is in the smoking
we kind of
section.
like just been smoking like we just smoking every day, all day type shit. So it's almost like the way like I used to like get high and then have like certain thoughts, but now it's like we stay high. So it's like fuck. Sometimes it's just kind of like I don't really have I don't really have a process to write anymore. Like I before I had like 20 minutes, I used to like try to work towards 20 minutes, so I was constantly writing to get my solid 20 minutes. But then as soon as like you start booking more shows and shit, like it kind of leaves no time for writing. So you kind of see yourself doing the same shit a lot, which in comedy you have to do. Like in order for me to tell a great joke, I probably have to tell it 50 times before that one time that it hits really good. So it's kind of like it's a lot of repetitive, and then every once in a great while, like I'll get a thought or something will happen where I'm like, I gotta talk about that on stage, and then you kind of like squeeze it into like I like to squeeze in new material in the middle of a joke that I know will work. Or like I'll have a joke that works, then I'll squeeze new shit in, and then a joke that works at the end. So that way, in case that shit is not as funny as I thought it was before I told it, I know for a fact that my other two will back it up and kind of hold it. You know what I'm saying? So I can get the audience back in case. Because some people try some new shit and open up the show with it. And the thing with that is if you start off on the wrong note, it's really hard
to get them
back.
Yeah.
So I'd rather break the ice, get to know the crowd. And I mean, and I'm not talking about getting to know each one individually, but just
of course,
like getting the vibe right. And once the vibe is right and you got comfortable with them, I feel like the audience will be open to you failing and then kind of, okay, you know what, that wasn't a good one, but we fuck with him, so we'll laugh at the rest
funny
of it.
before that shit.
Exactly, yeah. So that's kind of my writing process right now is just like all my new shit I've just been sneaking into these my sets right now, yeah.
Yo, is JV hitting somebody gonna make it into the set or what?
JV,
he is hitting somebody.
Probably, yeah. Like right now, I'm probably about to hit probably about 6 months of me doing almost the same set, I guess you could say, besides a few minor tags that I've changed.
Right.
So right now, I'm really eager to write new shit. Like I'm literally like on my notes app, I'm on it all day trying to come up with premises. So the way I usually do it is I go on my notes app and put bulletins. So like for example, right now I got JV running somebody over. So now I want to make a joke, a punchline, a setup. I don't like to do jokes just telling just a story, some people like to go on stage and just tell you how it is or whatever. I like to squeeze it, like I like to make it funny, try to build it up and make it so where you don't know the punchline is coming,
Right.
Like when he ran somebody over, it is funny, but I gotta make it like even funnier as far as the format, And I think that's where people get lost in translation from stand-up to being a funny guy, because you could be a funny motherfucker amongst your friends and be the clown or whatever, or the best roaster, but it's a lot different than going on stage, grabbing a mic and doing a set. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
So it's like I'm trying to basically be able to transition those life occurrences and making them funnier and funnier. So I'm working on it.
And that's actually where I was gonna go next, bro. Like, how did you make that? What made you take that fucking jump from going to like a YouTube comedian per se, where you have your YouTube acts, to go to fucking on? Like, had you done stand up prior to that, or you just said fuck, I'm gonna go ahead and do it? And then who put you on? Obviously, you got to know somebody, right?
Not necessarily, bro.
So you just went and showed up?
I take pride in the way that I started,
Okay.
and even how far I've come now. That I kind of did this shit on my own, as far as like comedian wise, like it wasn't really no palanca or shit like that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, so you want to get a job at a construction place, a union place, you gotta know somebody, shit
right,
like that.
right.
And comedy is like that.
Yeah.
It very much is like that. So that's why you see a lot of these people that are pretty new doing big spots at these big clubs like Laugh Factory, and then you see them bomb. Because you got hooked up with that spot. You suck somebody's dick to get that spot.
Yeah.
But compared to the motherfucker that put in the work. But as far as like how I got into it, like I actually, like I told you before, I used to do the YouTube thing, and then I stopped. But while I stopped, I was always a fan of stand-up comedy. Like Cat Williams is one of my biggest influences and one of my biggest idols. But I used to also watch, like, when I used to stay home from school and shit, Comedy Central used to just run Comedy Central Presents, which is just a whole bunch of different comedy specials on Comedy Central, 30 minutes. And I just used to watch them, and they used to be funny to me. And then I was like, well, fuck it, let me get back into watching stand-up outside of Cat Williams, outside of Kevin Hart, right? Let me discover new comedians. And I would be looking for them. I go on Netflix and put in different comedy specials, and I would watch them, and I'll be like, man, this shit is trash. Like, these motherfuckers suck. And you could literally go home right now if you're at the crib, open up your Netflix app, put a random-ass special on. A lot of those won't make you laugh. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I was like, this shit is easy. I could do this shit. And that's kind of what got the train of thought going.
Shit.
And then from that, it probably took me maybe like about 4 months to write like an actual set, which was like 4 or 5 minutes that I thought was 4 or 5 minutes. And I just Googled, bro, like, where can I open mics, like Chicago open mics, and I just made a list on a notebook of all kinds of different open mics, from bars to Aurora mics to everywhere, bro. And then eventually, in one of them, I ended up signing up at the Comedy Shrine open mic, and they accepted me. And when they but first I went to see an open mic. I went to see what it was like, and I realized that, oh shit, everybody here sucks ass. I was like, I could definitely do this. You feel me? So then I signed up, and they accepted me. And then the first time I ever tried it, it was very nerve-wracking because I had never been on a stage.
How old were you then, bro? Sorry.
I was probably 21. I'm 25 now, so
Yeah.
I was probably around 21. So it wasn't like I was like a little kid. And for the people that are not, for the people listening, I'm like 400 pounds, so I'm a big, I'm a big motherfucker. So,
And
So when you were 21, you looked 21.
yeah, so when I was 21, I looked 50. Like, so when I went on stage for the first time, like, I didn't do, like, obviously if I look back now till then, I'll be like, God damn, I was trash. But I got enough laughs to where it gives you this drive, bro. Like, and I'm not sure about music because I've never done music, but I'm sure it has to have a similar effect when you're on stage and the crowd is fucking with you. It just kind of gives you this adrenaline that, like, no other drug can ever give you. Like, just making people laugh with jokes that you wrote, bro. It kind of gives you the goosebumps. It's kind of, like, I've experimented with all kinds of drugs. I'm not sure if we can talk about that on this podcast.
Hell yeah, you can.
But yeah, I've done coke. I've done all kinds of shit.
Hell
And, the cri. You feel me? Shout out Crystal Meth, man. We done fuck with all that shit. So, like, the first time you do these drugs is like, wow, this shit is amazing. That's why you keep going back to it. But every time you go back, it's not really the same. You always chase that high.
Right.
And with comedy, it's like that laughter feels like that need, you know, like I'm like almost fiending for that drug to make people laugh. And every time I go on stage and can make somebody laugh, like it just makes me feel like oh shit, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. It kind of makes you feel like you found your purpose. And I know it sounds like super passionate and super,
I don't know.
but that little spark, I guess you can call it, that little high that it gets you, it's enough to have you keep going back. And it's so good that even when you do bad and you do bomb and people don't give a fuck about you, or you just fuck up a show, you still want to chase it, and you're going to keep on trying and keep on trying. You got to either be like really bad, or you just really not gotta. You really never cared for it to quit. I feel like a lot of people that do comedy, they do it for the rest of their life. Even if they
Right.
never make it, you go out here to shows. It'd be a 40-year-old comedian that tell you, "I've been doing this 20 years. I can't quit. I'm a lawyer. I got a house. I got kids. I'm good on money.
But they're
I don't need
squeezing
to
in-
make it. But it's just that bug, bro.
Yeah. I kind of describe the whole music scene the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't done as many drugs as probably you guys, right? But you go,
Yeah.
fuck that, bro.
I haven't done crystal meth, but
But everything else under the fucking
Everything under that, maybe. But yeah, I mean, when you get I always told my buddy, like, hey, we were one fucking boo away from, like, not wanting to continue. Like, everybody would applaud, and you just like, hell yeah. I think the response, it gives you that hope, like, that, it makes you believe that you can keep doing it and shit, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck yeah.
100% is the best feeling ever, in my opinion.
Like that shit.
Yeah.
Igualito que el músico, güey.
Yeah, and I always talk
Hey,
about
we're
like-
artists, bro.
And I always talk about like one of my favorite things to say is I've again, I don't want to make this super drug related, right? But
Oh, please do.
I used to have a real big problem with cocaine. Like coke is it was my drug of choice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Once in a while, you know what I'm saying? What's up? You feel me? But back in the day, like I used to have to do it like 2-3 times a week. Like motherfuckers used to not even be drinking, just doing coke. And I coke has really fucked my life up to a point where it's like, oh, like you really need to get your shit together now, or you really gonna be like either homeless or whatever else in the streets. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
not right, yeah.
And but I love it so much, and comedy, I love it even more than that. So what I really compare it to is the worst night in my life of comedy, like the worst show I've ever done, has been better than the best night of coke I've ever had.
Oh, I like the way
So
that
it's kind of like that's kind of how I compare the two.
Yeah.
So that's how much more I love comedy than anything else. And comedy has saved me from literally.
going-
I used to just the moment that I did stop doing YouTube and I wasn't doing stand up yet, I was literally just working at a warehouse waiting to get paid that weekend so I could spend all my money on the plug and drinks and get fucked up in a garage somewhere and then just do it all over again every single weekend. So when I started my podcast and when I started the comedy, it kind of helped me get out of that lifestyle, get out of the drugs, get out of the not looking forward to anything else besides a peda, you feel me?
Hell yeah.
So I'm like, fuck that. Now I'm like, oh, I got to do this podcast on Tuesday. I got a show on Thursday. I got 3 shows on Saturday. I got shit to look forward to. You feel me? It really gave me a purpose in life.
I like that.
I'm feeling that right now, compa. I'm feeling
True.
that. I'm feeling that. Yeah. I mean, I and that's why I told you, hey, we got to get this dude on like right now because I had already sensed this dude on the rest of his pods way. O sea, he's it's clicking right now. So when it's clicking, you don't want to stop.
Everything's lining up, man. Everything's
Yeah.
lining up at the right time, and fucking everything's going a good way and shit.
Yeah, and it was very like comedy's very too like we gotta be very patient with it. You feel me? Like patient, especially with like again, I take pride in not getting hooked up with spots from other people. 'Cause
Okay.
a lot of people get into comedy because they're like, oh, my friend's a comedian. In Aurora, there's no comedians. It's just
No,
me.
they're
Really?
not.
Yeah,
They're not.
now there's like 1 or 2 other comedians, but they're way older than me and they're black too. So I'm talking about like, and that race is not the thing, right? But I'm saying like for the community, like as far as like the people we went to school with around
Yeah.
our age, like really nobody's doing what I was doing at the time, and I feel like. I've had people come to my shows in Aurora and be like, bro, I ain't never like sometimes I'll have all my hood homies come out and they'll be fucking being obnoxious during the whole show, and then you gotta talk to them after like, bro, why you ain't shut the fuck up? Like why you gotta learn how to behave but it's just because they never done this before. Like comedy's not something that they've ever spent money on or even thought about coming to sit down and see. But
Yeah,
since
yeah,
their
yeah.
homies doing it, now they gotta come out and support. So I feel like I'm even helping the art grow. Like the art itself, comedy itself is growing in Aurora just because of the wave that I'm bringing out there. And that makes me happy too because the more people are into it, the more shows we can have, the more comedians there could be.
I agree, bro.
And the more is better. Like I love, some people are very like selfish, like they're insecure about what they got, so they hate when other people start coming up doing the same shit, whether it's a podcast or a stand-up comedian or another musical group, whatever. I feel like I embrace it because if there's more of us, like I'm so confident in what I got, like my comedy, my podcast, that I don't have to worry about competition. We just could help each other, and the more communities, the more people, then we could build a community, build more opportunities, build events. Like I'm sure, like here in the future now, there's gonna be like a podcast festival where all the Chicago podcasts can link up, shit like that, because there's gonna be more of us. You feel me? So I don't know. More is better, in my opinion.
I fucking agree with you 100% with all that, everything you just said. Y pues sí, güey. O sea, I had mentioned to Bart, and then I had mentioned it to a couple guys. We have the other podcast, right? El Guac Pod.
Yeah.
And then they had told me that we do bailes, the paisa ones, and the venue people were telling me like, hey, you know what? We should dive into the fucking comedy world, because one of the guys had gone to a show to Zany's, I think, and he's like, no mames, wait, like in a matter of like 4 hours, it was a nice tab. Like, there's money to be made in this comedy scene, and in the business aspect.
It's expensive as fuck.
It is, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you have to, if you go out to a show, there's like sometimes there's even like a drink minimum. Like, you got to drink 2 drinks.
It's almost like the unspoken rule, and I mean most comedy clubs will speak on it just to make sure that it's clear,
Right.
Because a lot of people will duck it, but every comedy club in the world, not just in the city, in the world, it's almost, you got to pay a ticket, which is anywhere from $10 to $25, $30, right? Depending on who you're going to see,
Right.
and 2 drink minimum.
Yeah.
That's individually per ticket, not per tab, right? So if it's 2 people and it's 1 tab, you got to get 4 drinks. And that it could be alcoholic or non-alcoholic, but that is a mandatory. And they say they do that because they say, oh, it's because we want you guys to be loose for the show.
Okay.
But realistically, no, it's not. It's so the fucking venue can make a fuckload of money.
Right.
And to be completely honest with you, a lot of these comedy shows do run I'd probably say the average is 90 minutes, but you will get to a show where it's 2 hours, and in 2 hours, you're going to drink more than 2 drinks. You feel me? You're going to drink 4 or 5 drinks, and you're going to pay, and most of these clubs, you're going to pay $5, $6 a drink, if not more. So I've seen people close out. Like I've done shows in Aurora where each tab is at least $70. So I'll do the math. I'll be like, all you motherfuckers club made around at least $3-4 grand just in one night.
Say I gotta get paid.
Yeah,
I gotta
so
get paid.
that's what I'm saying. Like
in a matter of hours.
Yeah,
right?
and it's very. Then I guess that's okay. It could lead into a different conversation because these clubs will do that. They'll have these big. They'll have these comedians, and then they'll sell out tickets, and then they'll sell out drinks, and then they'll still want to pay a comedian shit ass garbage ass pay. And it's like, bro, that's not fair.
I was gonna ask you. I don't know if you want to expose payment, like what the big. I just want to compare a little bit to the music scene, right? Because we're behind the whole the music business aspect as well.
The thing about comedy, bro.
I mean, I know it's just one of you.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. And I mean, I can tell you how it is because everything I've done, I feel like comedy is, you're gonna lose money, bro. You're not gonna make money almost never until you actually make a name for yourself.
Okay.
Like, for example, every comedian wants to be in these big clubs like the Laugh Factory, Zany's, Comedy Bar downtown, all these Northside clubs. But the thing is, people don't tell you is that these clubs, the max they will pay you is $50. That's a lot, actually. $50 is on the better end.
Really?
Most of them is $25, $30. And I mean, of course, sometimes it's 8-minute, 10-minute sets.
Okay.
So I mean, if you do the math, you did a show. I mean, 20 minutes, and you made $50. That means that in an hour, you're probably gonna make 100 and something, right?
Right.
Which is really good. But most of the time, you're not gonna have 3-4 shows lined up. You feel me? It's just gonna be that one show of the night. So I mean, every time I do comedy in Chicago, I lose money, bro, because I have to come from Aurora all the way to Chicago, do the show. Most of the time, it's a 2-drink minimum. So if I invite people, I'll be like, oh well, let me take care of your drinks. Let me take care because you came to fuck. You came to fuck with me. You feel me? So it's a real loss. But on the contrary, though, I've done these clubs like at the Laugh Factory where it'll be somebody will see you and they'll be like, oh, I want you at my birthday party, and then that's when you could be like, okay, you want me to do 40 minutes? Give me $300. Give me $400. So you kind of make it up on those private gigs, but those private gigs are not always there to, you know what I'm saying?
It's not as consistent.
Yeah, it's not as
Damn,
consistent.
I didn't even know you guys had like privates like that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, that's where I make my fucking money, bro. Like, I don't. If it wasn't for privates, like, I would be even broker. Like, it helps me like even it out, like a little privada vibe. You feel me? Like, it helps me even it out, and it's pretty dope. Like, I've been fortunate enough to do a few this this year, and like I mean it's great. Like I mean just this past month, I think I made like almost $400-500. I covered my rent in just private gigs.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, well that's fucking decent. You feel
Fuck
me? Like
yeah.
that's dope. But it's just I mean 4 years in the game of bullshit and begging these people because not only do these clubs not pay you, they don't want to have you on their stage. Like you gotta literally earn that shit. Like you gotta go to the open mics. They gotta hear it from a few people that you're funny, or they have to, you know, you like the way I got into the Laugh Factory, bro, was like by the grace of God. I was fucking like I knew I was funny enough to be there, but like to have people agree and have you on is so hard that I had to do a lottery. These people would do a lottery guest spot, and they'll just put a whole bunch of names. Like they'll put on Facebook.
Oh shit.
They'll put on Facebook comment spot. And we'll put your name into a lottery. Then they'll get 100 names. Out of those 100 names, they'll pick one person and they'll be like, okay, you get 5 minutes on this day. Random as fuck.
Stop. That's
And
how you got in?
I got picked for one of the spots. They put me in between, like, it was July 3rd, 2019, the year before COVID. I got the first time I was able to touch that Laugh Factory stage. I did 5 minutes, bro. And in those 5 minutes, probably at minute 3 or 4, I had to tell people, like, yo, shut up, because they only gave me 5 minutes and I'm trying to do the rest of these jokes. So I had to literally tell the crowd to stop fucking laughing. And after that, that kind of gave me the green light, like the validation, like, oh, this nigga's funny.
Yeah.
Like, let's have him on more. And then from there, like, I just broke the door down. But I talked about this before, like, I don't got a license, so I got to make it. Every time I come to Chicago to do a show, I got to make sure that it's my best show, because I don't know who may be watching that's going to give me another opportunity in the future. Compared to other people that can afford to do kind of shitty at shows, they live in the city, they could get around in a bus, and they just hang out every night at these comedy clubs trying to get to know people. I can't be out here every night, so it's like when I'm here, I can't bomb. I gotta do good, and I feel like just it's been to my disadvantage, but also my advantage, because I've been able to take it more serious now. It's like, okay, you're there one time this month, make sure it counts so they can have you back, and yeah, that's what I do, man.
Damn. That's fucking nuts, man. They
Only-
picked your fucking name out. Holy shit.
But
And I know you just had a weekend, I believe, where you felt like you earned finally a good fucking check. Like you did a weekend, I think, was that in the
I
Comedy
did
Shrine?
a weekend at the Comedy Shrine over at the mall. So it was 4 shows, 8 p.m., 10 p.m. both
Friday
days.
and Saturday,
Yeah,
right?
Friday and Saturday. And the good thing about those contracts is that give me a second here. The good thing about those contracts is that they're guaranteed money, so it don't matter who shows up, if anybody shows up, as long as the show happens, you get paid.
Yeah.
So that's even better for me, because then I don't have to focus on promoting and shit like that. And they were doing the promoting and all that. I just kind of went and did the show, and it was $600, but and so it's not like a lot, but I'm one person, you feel me? So it's like I
yeah.
gotta split it. Like it's just my money that I earned off telling jokes, and it's even surreal to me because it's like, bro, I love like making people laugh. Is like I was doing that in school. You feel me? Like, I was the class clown. Nobody was giving me. Never in my life I thought I was gonna be able. Like I remember even going to I went that same night. We left the comedy club like at 1 a.m. because after the show we had a meeting. Whatever, they gave me my check. I went to the fucking Western Union. I didn't even go home. I was like, fuck that. I was like,
Currency exchange that shit
I was
right
like,
there in New York.
Ohio and New York.
Yes, sir.
Ohio and New York.
It's 24/7, my boy.
Yeah, all my homies was like,
Waiting
yo,
outside.
No. We were gonna meet. We were gonna meet up at Taqueria Durango across
Hell
town. So
yeah.
we're gonna meet up there. And so the comedy club is like on 59. Taqueria Durango is downtown Aurora. The Currency Exchange is halfway
Right in
there.
the middle. Right in the middle.
I told my homie, I was like, yeah, I got y'all. I'll meet
got
y'all
you
there.
guys.
But first, I gotta
Hell
get
yeah.
money. I was broke, dog.
Cheese
Like,
big fries for everybody,
I went
motherfuckers.
into the Western Union, dog. Like, they gave me that shit in all 20s. Like, I mean, obviously, everybody got a paycheck before and shit like that.
You did
But
one of the
But, like,
pictures?
off of doing shit that, like, I love, like, it just meant so much to me. I was like, dude, I could pay my rent with the money that I just told jokes. Like, I told jokes. I can't believe that they gave me money for it. I used to beg them. Like, please let me perform 5 minutes on your stage. Now they're paying me. I was doing the Pooh Shiesty for sure.
Yeah, the picture.
yeah.
Money spread, all that shit. So it's getting a little bit more real. You feel me? Like I'm doing college gigs. Like I just did Governor State University
Damn.
last month. I'm gonna do ISU, Illinois State University,
Yeah.
next month. So I'm doing the college gigs. That's where you get a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
'Cause it's a school's budget. You feel me?
Yeah,
Right.
Then nobody gotta worry about ticket sales. None of that shit. You gonna get paid if it's one motherfucker in there.
Hell yeah.
So I fuck with that.
That's fucking badass,
yeah.
man. And then, is there fucking comedians that you studied or look up to that you kind of like go? I don't say like that's your style, but it's somebody that you fucking look up to pretty much in the whole comedy scene.
Yeah, like another thing too is like I really love Cat Williams. Like Cat Williams
You
and
did mention that.
black comedians are like what I look up to the most because that's kind of like the culture that introduced me to comedy. So I always gravitated to black comedians instead of like anybody else. But now that I'm in the comedy game, and now that I'm a comedian myself, like you kind of start to do more research, you know, like I feel like you don't when you're not in the community, you don't give a fuck about local bands or local comedians, like whatever. But once you're part of it, it's like, oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Who's that? So you start doing your homework, you know. So right now, I mean, as far as mainstream comedians, definitely Cat Williams still up there for me. But I like Tom Segura is one of my favorites.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah,
Man.
Shane Gillis, he's actually a New York comic. I really fuck with him, and they're way different than me. Like their comedy's nothing like mine, but I just think that he's funny. Is funny. You feel me? Funny is funny.
Yeah.
And the fact that somebody with a completely different mindset and perspective and upbringing can make me laugh that hard, that lets you know that that person is hilarious. You know. Yeah. And then as far as I guess comparable to me and who I would like, I guess. Is similar comedy like Felipe Esparza.
Yeah.
He talks about like again drugs, life experiences. Joey Diaz is
fucking
he's a big inspiration to the
Monster.
podcast just being raw because a lot of people won't go on a podcast and say, oh yeah, me and my homie we got a prostitute in LA and we broke down crystal meth. But Joey Diaz would say some shit like that. So when I did that, I felt okay to talk about it because I'm like, Joey Diaz do it. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it too. But yeah, like, so I take inspiration in a little bit of everybody, you feel me, and just turn it into my own thing, right? Another thing with comedy is you don't wanna watch too much comedy or gravitate too much to a certain comedian,
right?
Because then you'll find yourself imitating that person.
Yeah.
I've seen people go on stage and sound exactly like somebody else. When I go on stage, I feel like people feel like, oh, that's him. Like I haven't heard nobody that sound like him.
Right.
Because I kind of like. I guess it's like a character almost in a way that I play, but it's kind of like the naive, like, oh, I didn't know no better. But I also do like I say a lot of like Cali slang, like foo and dog. Like I'll talk like that, and a lot of people in Chicago don't talk like that.
Right.
So when they hear you, they're like, it's kind of like its own little funny character. You feel me? And the reason I do that, not to try to jack any style or anything from Cali culture, but I just used to say the N-word a lot. Because you're from Chicago, every Mexican says the N-word. You feel me? Everybody says it. You feel me? So, like, I had people, like, reach out to me, like, hey, we fuck with your shit, but relax on that.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be the one to be like, oh, well, I could say it. You feel me? Nah,
Right.
I get you. All right, bet. So that's why I say fool and dog a lot, but I mix it all and go on stage. But that's what I look up to as far as comedians right now. Cat, Shane Gillis, Tom Segura.
Tom Segura's a beast, man.
Yeah, and the podcast go.
Yeah, fucking
He's created
awesome.
a fucking like I mean, kind of what you guys got going on here. You know what I'm saying? You guys.
He's just a lot funnier than us.
Fuck
Is that the 2 minute?
I ain't gonna argue with you on that.
No,
I'm
but
saying,
yeah,
like,
he's fucking. That's a great podcast.
But I don't know if you guys are familiar with what he's doing with his podcast. He has Your Mom's House podcast.
Yeah.
And it's Your Mom's House Studios. And out of that studio, there's a whole bunch of different comedians that have their podcast. Like he pays for their production, but obviously they split the profits. Yeah. And he kind of has created like almost like
network,
like a label, like a record label, but for podcasts.
Yeah,
and it's something. It's gonna be huge. That's gonna make him more money than comedy ever made him, in my opinion. So I definitely admire you guys.
That's kind of what we're.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, you guys are branching off, but still under the same umbrella.
Right.
It's gonna because you can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Correct.
So
yes,
you know what I'm saying. Puros Compas might be the one to go viral, million and shit.
Yeah. You never know.
It'll take El Guac Pod with it. You feel me?
Yeah, or vice versa, or the other ones.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the idea. We I kind of have over here is the Aguacate Podcast Network, essentially. But he's also got another one, right? Does he have the 2 Men in a Cave or something like that?
Two Bears, One Cave.
2 Bears, One Cave. Yeah.
Excuse me, with Bert Kreischer, and I mean,
Bert Kreischer's another monster, bro. I don't know if you like that guy.
I'm a big fan of who he is. I'm all good, man. No, I'm just over here, baby lungs and shit. Yeah, Bert Kreischer is definitely like podcast. I love podcasts, man. It's definitely the future of everything.
Bro, y con eso que te dijeron, like the whole N-word, which is obviously, acceptable to get that, but how about the whole fucking cancel culture and people like, I guess questioning how comedy works with that. How do you feel about obviously the whole Chappelle thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what's your perspective on that?
I feel like my perspective is different than what people think it's gonna be because I really try to paint the picture of like, oh, I don't give a fuck about nothing. You feel me?
Right.
But realistically, bro, like cancel culture, like it's almost becoming it's temporary, bro. There's comedians who've done fucked up shit. Shout out Louis C.K., Chris D'Elia, who was DMing minors. Louis C.K. was whipping his dick out in front of other comedians
Yep.
and jerking off.
Yep.
They're all touring right now. They're all on podcasts right now. Like, cancel culture, I feel like they went too far trying to cancel everybody that now every time they cancel somebody, it's almost like easy to... Like,
Wash
okay,
off kind
it
of thing.
happened, but now it's already over.
It's
Okay,
back.
they already moved on to somebody else. You feel me?
Right.
So it's easy to recover from it, unless you're like, oh, he raped somebody, obviously, right? Or he beat some woman up, right?
Unless you're R. Kelly.
But yeah. So it's like that's different, right? But like as far as the speech part of comedy,
Right.
I really am big on you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want, right? But I'm also big on being funny. Like, because a person could come here and say, like, the worst shit about gays, right? But if it's not funny, I really don't care for it. You feel me? Like, sometimes people think that comedy is just about, oh, you're saying what nobody else wants to say. But it's not even that. Like, is it funny, though? Because
Right.
maybe the reason nobody's saying it is because it's not funny. You
Okay.
feel me? Like, Dave Chappelle's last special, to me, wasn't that funny. I was not balling off my fucking ass laughing. You feel me? Now, should he have the right to say whatever the fuck he wants? Yeah, man. Unfortunately, yeah, he should. And people shouldn't. If you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. You feel me? If you don't like it always baffles me when people hit me up on and they're like, oh yeah, bro, well, you shouldn't talk about it. Like, hey, shut the fuck. Don't listen to my shit. Like, all you gotta do is turn the shit off.
Yeah.
Like, it's not made for you. You feel me? It's not made for you only. So if you don't like it, if you don't fuck with me no more, then stop fucking with me. You feel me? But I also think that just like Dave Chappelle has the freedom of speech as far as like saying what he wants on his comedy special, the people that are protesting and going crazy, they do kind of have that freedom of speech to also say whatever the fuck they want. And if they want to cancel somebody, I mean, that's up to them to, like, if they want to group up and shit. But like, to me, it's like, it really depends on how the creator lets it affect him. You feel me? Like, you as a comedian, like, are you like Shane Gillis, for example? Again, he did a podcast for many years, a podcast that wasn't really even big like that, just a normal podcast with his homie that's also a comedian. Then he got lucky and he got picked out for SNL to do SNL. He was gonna be part of the cast. And then somebody went and dug up old podcast audio of him talking shit about Chinese people, and he said a few slurs or whatever, and then they took him off SNL, right? So that, like, he could have let that destroy his career. He could have really, like, oh my God, my life is over. They took everything from me. But instead, he's kept doing jokes. He kept doing stand-up, kept doing his podcast, and at the end of the day, it repaid him even better because now he's one of the biggest touring comedians right now, and his podcast is bigger than ever because he stayed down. So I feel like you shouldn't, but I feel like you should be open to learning too. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
there is a lot of people who've done fucked up shit, and they do need to be called out for it. So I'm not gonna knock cancel culture like that. And I feel like me, as like, for example, when people call me out on saying the N-word, I'm not gonna sit there and argue. Other people would be like, "Oh no, well, I grew up in the city, and all my life I got black friends. They let me say it, woo woo." You can say that shit all day long, right? And your people might agree with you, but the thing is that, like, at the end of the day, if somebody feels offended because if somebody feels weird about you saying that word because you're not black, you can't change the way they feel. You feel me? And I think I've gotten to a point where even me, like, I used to not give a fuck. I used to say it in front of black people and not give a fuck. Like, what do you yeah, and then the thing is, they didn't either. You feel me? Like, nobody gave a fuck.
Well, especially where we're from, Aurora.
Especially
cool,
Aurora,
you know?
especially Chicago. You feel me? Everywhere around here, everybody says it. You go back to the
says
yards,
it.
everybody's saying that shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
But now it's like, now I feel like everybody knows, and it's brought to everybody's attention. So I feel like when it slips out now, and there's black people around or whatever, it builds tension. Like, it's like, oh, Like, whoa.
True that.
It's
True
weird.
that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And even around homies now, like, it don't got to be black people in the room. You can say that shit, and then
They be
I
looking at
feel
you
like
like-
everybody has that shit in their conscience now. Like, damn, like relax. Like, why you feel me? Like, I had a guest on my podcast. Shout out my homie Carnitas. He came on, but he like an old school gangbanger or whatever. So for everything he's saying, he's like, oh, my nigga this, my nigga that. I'm like, oh, there I go again. But, you know what I'm saying? but like he talks like that, right? So every sentence he was saying is like, oh my nigga, and then people were like, bro, like that shit was like, I didn't even finish listening to it because he got annoying with that.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? I can't change how people feel about that. So I try my best not to give a fuck about what people gotta say, but at the same time, try to correct my behavior if it's wrong. So I feel like there's really common ground. It's like you really don't have to pick a side. You feel me? I feel like that's why this world is so divided now. People feel like they gotta pick a side. Either you're here or there. You don't have to be. You could be in the middle. I feel like not everybody needs to get canceled. Like, we don't need to create chaos because Dave Chappelle's going out the trans. But I also feel like, all right, man, like, if the trans community, you know they don't like being talked about, and you've already got dragged for this shit before, why you keep poking at it? You feel me?
Right.
It's almost like, to me, realistically, it felt like he was doing it on purpose because he knew that he was going to get that much media coverage, and it was going to be that much of a bigger deal.
Right.
That's my opinion, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fucking money market, bro. Like
It worked.
Every publicity is good publicity. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what you say.
Fuck yeah.
So if people are gonna be talking about it, that's the thing too. People were so worried about the trans bullshit and that they didn't even care that the shit wasn't even funny. Like the whole big, like I don't know. Turn the shit on. We can watch the whole thing right now. There's not a joke in there that's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna make you cry laughing.
No, there isn't.
There
Yeah, I
isn't.
agree.
And
It was more of a message. He was just pushing, I think, right?
Right, exactly. It was more of a message, and
Yeah.
to me, that's kind of like that part that I don't like because it's like, bro, like we're comedians. Like, where's the funny? You feel me? Like,
I see you, yeah.
I just want funny. If you're
But
gonna,
is it funny?
yeah, that's all it comes down
Yeah,
to, bro.
but
Like
is it
people think
funny?
it's deeper than that. It really ain't. If you tell me a racist joke right now, it better be funny. Like I want to laugh.
Right.
Like, there's no problem with laughing if the shit's funny. Yeah. You feel me?
So-
Because a lot of people are not. They're just offensive.
So with that being said, in your set, do you not give a shit technically, and you do include a little bit of a racial joke, a little bit of a homosexual joke, or do you just stay away from that then?
No, I don't. I'll talk about it if it's funny. Like,
Yeah.
if I feel like the premise is fucking hilarious, I'm gonna bring it up. Like, I got jokes about white people right now that I feel like are hilarious. I don't have any jokes about black people right now because I feel like that's a very it's an easy subject to poke at. Everybody's stereotypical about black people,
Right.
so I usually focus more on myself. But I do talk about white people in certain jokes. But again, it just kind of comes back around to me and my situation and what happened. It's just the white people involved in it. But I don't try to sit down and write, oh, I'm gonna write about gays today. You feel me? Like I don't do that kind of comedy. I do more like just shit that happened to me. Like I just put out a bit where it's like my joke goes like, oh man, I talk about I had a job at Starbucks and I got affiliated with white people, and then at the end of the joke I'm like, oh, I got fired from Starbucks though because they said I was stealing tips, and then I stayed quiet, and then I'll be like, but I definitely was stealing tips.
Yeah, I
some
seen
shit,
that
some
thing,
shit
yeah.
like that, right? But it's like sometimes it's just a setup for a different type of punchline, you know?
Right.
Or I'm getting at myself, like I want like that probably sounds like a joke. I got fired from Starbucks for stealing out of the tip jar. That's,
Oh, you did get
that
fired.
is, I swear to God, on everybody I love. I got because people, bro. I used to
You're
work.
right,
I
man.
used to work the drive-thru at Starbucks. White people on Christmas time, like from right now to end of the year, white people are buying a
Generous.
$6 coffee and leaving $20 tips. Bro, if I see 220s in the tip jar and my coworker's making the latte,
Hell yeah.
that's $40 in my pocket. I don't give
wow.
a fuck.
Like,
Motherfuckers
hey,
damn,
Ken.
we only made $15.
Can you go?
Ken, you know we have cameras, right, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaving here with something, nigga. But yeah, so it like to me, like my comedy's more about taking like that was a real low point in my life, obviously, right? I mean, we joke about it now, but if I was stealing tips out of a tip jar, obviously I was broke.
Some shit was going on,
obviously,
yeah.
obviously I was going through some shit, right? So I did what I had to do, right? Now, some of it was pura pinche maña. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
I agree.
But at the same time, it was a dark time in my life, you feel me? And I did what I had to do. But fast forward, 4 or 5 years, and now I could joke about it, and now I could post a clip on my platform that I've built doing stand up and capitalize off it. It's like, wow, like pain really does turn. It really does come from pain, like real pain. Like I remember that day. I remember the day I got fired, bro. I went drinking out with the homies, and like I got so drunk, and I just laid down on the floor. There's a picture of me on the floor like this, like a fucking star, just looking up at the sky, because I hadn't even gone home after work that day. I told my mom I had to work late and shit. I'm like fucking. I was like, how the fuck am I gonna tell my mom I got fired? Like everybody in the family was so proud of me for working at Starbucks. You feel me? Because it's like a white job and shit.
Waking up at 4 and shit.
I got fired from that shit was embarrassing as fuck. I remember the guy, they had like loss prevention in there. Everybody was in that bitch, right? And they're like, yeah, well, we know you did it. I was like, word. And then they're like, yeah, like you could go to they let me go to the ATM. Like they literally had a cash dollar amount. They put it in front of me and they're like, oh, it's like $350. They waited till the day I got paid to do it. Like they knew I was broke. So the day I got paid, they came to the Starbucks I was working at, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you owe us that much money." I was like, "Well, why? You play stupid as shit." And then they played the video. I was like, "Oh, okay, I know." I thought you was talking about that other shit. So they literally made me go. Everybody was like working still. I walked out the back. They made me go to the ATM at the gas station across the street, pull the money out, and I came back in there, gave it to them.
Wow.
And I even remember when they asked me for the money, I was like, well, is it cool if we just break it up in between a few of my upcoming checks? They're like, nigga, it's no more upcoming checks. Like, this is it.
You think you still got a job?
Right. Like, we only let you stay this long so we can get the money back.
This money.
Yeah.
This ain't a firm, no for fucking payments and shit.
They waited till you had that 350.
Yeah, so, but I mean, again, that's what my comedy is born from that, bro. Like, I talk about ordering food and not being able to breathe. I talk about my uncle getting his foot amputated, just like different shit in different ways. But it's kind of about me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard for me to get in trouble about the shit that I talk about, because I don't sit down and try to go. Cause there's comedians that do that. They're like, oh, I'm gonna talk about, like, I'm gonna talk about this. Like, this shit's gonna get them like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they look to get people mad or try to build up some type of like dumb premise to make you feel tense, and then they try to hit you with a punchline. The problem is when the punchline don't work and you're not as funny as you think you are.
Shit's
now the
still
whole
tense.
room, now the whole room is tense. They
yeah.
just think you're a racist or you're a homophobe. You feel me? So that's why I always ask myself, like, if you're gonna be walking the fine line of being edgy, you better be fucking funny.
Yeah. And then what's up with hecklers, bro? Anybody heckle you in your 4 years?
God, bro.
Stint?
Last week, bro, I talked about it on the podcast. I talk about it on the podcast.
About to ask
shit.
Rockford shit, dog. Wow.
Tell Jose.
So I went to
Thanks,
Rock. I don't really get too many hecklers, and I think it has to do with my size again. Like, people are not gonna. A lot of comedians are skinny, wimpy white kids, but I'm a big ass Mexican. You feel me? And I talk like this. So when I go on stage, I still talk like this. So I have white people gonna be like, you know what? We're not. Like drunk white kids would be like, oh, we're not gonna fuck with this one. Let's wait for the next comedian.
Let's wait for Steve after this guy.
Yeah, and there was one instance not too long ago where I had a few of my friends that were there in the crowd were drunk as fuck, and again they were fucking with the comedians before me.
Shit!
I was headlining, and I would hear them fuck with the comedians. So I already knew as soon as I got out there, I had to shut that shit down. And I walked up, as soon as I walked on stage, everybody, ooh, whatever. As soon as everybody shut up, I was like, fuck all y'all, like, y'all some bitches. And I was kidding, right? But I just went aggressively, and then I let them know, like, don't do that shit. And then after everybody's quiet, then I got into my set. Mm-hmm. But like, you gotta shut that shit down right away, because if you let that shit like happen. Like, there was a comedian before me, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not a citizen," and somebody yelled out, "Oh, you a bitch!" Like that, that's gonna fucking. The crowd's gonna be like, "What the fuck is going on?" You feel me?
Yeah.
So you gotta shut that shit down. A lot of comedians don't. They're like either nervous, scared, or whatever. So they just try not to, or they think that if they talk to them, it's gonna grow.
It's gonna get
so
worse.
they'll try to ignore it, and then that low key lets it get worse. So I was really good that day about shutting those hecklers down, but just last week, bro, on Friday, I got booked for a little private event. It was a Halloween party out in Rockford, and it was a decent amount of money, right? More than I make out here and shit. So I was like, fuck it, let's go. I told my homie, I was like, let's go up to Rockford, and he's like, fuck it, let's ride. So we go all the way up to Rockford. Now, there's no other comedians on the lineup. It's just me. So there's not a host. There's not an opener. Like, it was just me. But I was like, fuck it. Maybe they're going to be ready for me. They'll sit them down, and I'll do my show, and I'll fucking leave, right? So I get there, and it's just a whole bunch of... it was a black crowd, so there's a whole bunch of black people. But it's just like a black door, bro. Just like music's going. People are drinking, chilling. I was like, dude, I do not see a comedy show happening here today. You feel me? Like, this shit's not going to work out. But I ended up waiting. We ended up getting some drinks. We sit down, and we let the kind of like the night go by. And then eventually, people start coming in, but nobody's even sitting down. Everybody's already lit as fuck.
Party mode.
11:30 p.m., bro. Like, I shouldn't even be out trying to do comedy at that time. The good thing is that they paid me as soon as I walked in the door. So I had the money in my hand. I was like, fuck it. I'm already paid, right? And then eventually, this big-ass security, the big old black dude, long dreads, bro, just looked massive. He was like, all right, you ready? I was like, yeah, bro, but you got to tell them to sit down and be quiet and pay attention. Like, it's going to be a show. So he's like, I got you. He tells the DJ, hey, DJ, cut that shit. DJ cuts off the music, right? So already people are like,
they're looking like, what the hell,
fuck?
yeah.
We're culero, you feel me? Like, they're already like negative. And then he gets on the mic and he's like, what's up, Rockford? And I'm thinking, these are his people, right? Like, not like black, but I'm saying like his people, like Rockford community, Dude, he goes on there like, what's up, Rockford? Nobody says shit. Nobody listens to him, looks at him. Some people look at him like, what the fuck is this fat ass doing up here? So I'm just like, God damn.
What was your quick thought right there, bro?
Well, I'm just looking, I'm like, God damn, I got to really go up here and perform, but I'm thinking he's gonna do like 10 minutes, right? He's gonna do 10 minutes and then he'll bring me up.
Soften him up.
Maybe
this is a security guard.
Yes, bulletproof vest and all.
Shit.
I'm thinking, okay, he right now he's gonna come back up here, and after he does his 10 minutes, the crowd will be ready, right? Well, this motherfucker couldn't even do 1 minute. He was up there for like 20 seconds, bro. When he realized nobody was paying attention to him, he called my name. He's like, I got Ken Flores, and he brings me up. Nobody claps. Nobody even turns around and looks at me.
Wow.
Because the bar is in front of me, so everybody has their back to me. And the people that are on the sides are dancing, standing
doing
up,
their shit,
talking to each other. So I'm like, yo, what up, Rockford? What's up? What's up? Nobody says shit, bro. This is after my homie ran that dude over. So after that Laugh Factory, right now my ego was at 1,000.
Yes, sir.
I just did Laugh Factory. I did Zany's, like
ran a nigga over.
Got away with murder.
Like, I'm cutting off.
Got away with murder.
I'm cutting off all my bitches. Like I'm like, don't even. I'm unfollowing everybody on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm about to be on Netflix, dog.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm doing my show there, bro. I'm sweat. At this point, I'm drenched in sweat because I'm so nervous that nobody's paying attention.
Shit.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, yo, what's up, Rockford? I said, yo, what's up, Rockford, like 10 times. Rockford did not care.
They didn't give a shit.
Rockford didn't give a fuck, bro. So then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start doing my jokes. So I start doing my jokes. Nobody's paying attention. So I'm like, what's up? And then there's one black dude. He looked like Lil Boosie. He's like, damn, man, because I was trying to talk to people like, yo, what's up? Where you from? Whatever, right? I'm trying to talk to him. I'm like, yo, what's up? Where you from? He's like, hey, man, don't worry about me, man. Do your fucking jokes. Don't talk to me, man. I was like, all right, I'm sorry, sir. Like, what the fuck? So then I go back to like my little square, and I'm trying to do my fucking. So I worked at Starbucks. I'm trying to do my fucking. I try to do my.
Fuck?
Yeah, nobody gives a. They didn't do that. I swear to God, I was up there maybe 4 or 5 minutes. I was booked to do 40, by the way.
Holy shit!
I did about 4 minutes. The security guard, I just feel a big ass arm come around me like this, and I'm just like this, right? He got his arm around me, and then he snatches the microphone out of my hand, right? So I'm just like this, right? I'm like, okay, but he's also the guy who paid me, so I'm like, I'm gonna be nice, right? So I'm there like this, and he's like, hey, Rockford, fuck y'all. And he's got me like this, dog. He's like, hey, Rockford, fuck y'all. He's like, I brought my homie out here to show y'all his art, and y'all didn't give a fuck. And now it's just making me feel worse. Like, oh, they did it. Like, fuck, dog. And I'm just like, yeah, they did it, huh? And he's like, it's all good, dog. He's like, I was like, all right. And then he walks away with the microphone. So that means like
You're done. Yeah.
So I'm standing in the middle like, what the fuck? Like I don't have no mic, nothing. I end up going back to my chair. No, by the way, nobody has turned around once. So they don't even know what's going on, bro. Like they think the TV's in the background playing or some shit. Like people, I swear to God, people that were probably from here to where you guys are sitting didn't even know I performed. They didn't know. They put the music back on. Everybody's like, woo! I was like, I felt like comedy will humble you, bro.
Yeah.
Just when you think that you the shit, no, you're not. You're nobody.
Fuck, well, that's...
Now, any other, like if I would have just started, I would have blamed myself. I would have been like, oh, I wasn't funny enough. I didn't get their attention. But unfortunately, with comedy is one of those things that it has to be a setting for it. It has to be, people have to be ready for comedy. You have to be in the mood for comedy. And you definitely have to know that comedy is going to be happening when you get there. Because I feel like most of the people that were there didn't know
no idea.
a random ass comedian was going to come and do jokes. They were there to party, to drink, to get fucked up.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for me, I got left out. So anyway, people started partying, bro. At this point, this security's at the door. There's one way in, one way out, and I got his money in my pocket, and I didn't perform what I was supposed to perform. But in my head, I'm like, nigga, I'm already like $60 in on my tab here. Like, I already spent the money you gave me. Like, I'm not finna give it back. Like, maybe we could try again until everybody shut up. But eventually, like, I just avoided making eye contact with him. And some more people got there. Some nice queens were there, man. We ended up dancing. I had no shame. I was like, man, I got paid. Fuck Rockford. Like, it's not my fault. It's y'all fault.
Hell yeah.
And I started dancing with some of the black girls, bro. It was fun. It was fun, bro. And then after that, when I saw the security guard like move out the way of the door, I zoomed out that bitch. I was like, I'm gone. And he sent me a message.
Rockford.
He sent me a message the next day. He's like, I thought you was gonna be ready, bro. Like, fuck
You weren't ready, dog. You weren't ready.
Rockford wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Fuck Rockford.
They weren't ready for you.
Rockford
for
is
sure.
a tough ass crowd, man. Even in the
You
music
ain't lying,
scene, man.
I actually thought that same shit when I was listening to the pod, because our last event that we did at Rockford was pretty bad.
It was shitty.
It was pretty bad. We lost a good amount of money, so
Yeah,
fuck Rockford. I'm with you.
Fucking
I'm with you on that one,
Rockford
dog.
is horrible, bro. I fucking hate Rockford. Like, all my homies hate Rockford. I've never done something at Rockford that went well. Never. I swear.
How about A-Town? How do you feel about the crowd from A-Town, bro? How you feel like they
thing about
support or
A-Town-
what?
Nah, the thing about A-Town, bro, is like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, the city got love, like, for me, bro. Like, they've embraced me so much that, like, I can literally go and do a show and talk about whatever, and people are gonna laugh just because that's my crowd. But again, we're talking about my podcast crowd, so like they feel like they know me. So it's like sometimes when I'm just saying stories like this on the podcast, like they're laughing, so I can go on stage and say whatever, and they're still gonna laugh. So I love them. I love them because like there's really no failing. But the thing about having a crowd in Aurora is like eventually people are gonna want to see new shit, hear new shit. And the thing about comedy, like I told you, it's very repetitive. A comedian will usually tour with the same material for a year, 2 years sometimes before they film it and put it out in a special. You know, I can only do a show so many times before people are like, oh, we already heard that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the comedy's all about the element of surprise, not knowing what's next. That's what kind of gets you off guard. Like, oh, shit, this motherfucker, you know? So if you already know what's going to be happening, it's going to be kind of like, all right, well, we already heard this, you know what I'm saying? So that's why right now, because of Aurora, I'm trying to like rush new material and get new shit for them so I can keep them happy, you know? Because in Chicago, I'm new.
Right.
And every time I come and do a show, like I just did a show, I did a show at not a dispensary, but it was one of those weed events where they do like vendors and all kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah.
420 friendly. Hell
Yeah, 420 friendly. So I did one of those shows on Sunday
show.
night this past week over
Like
on
this show.
yeah, and I went on there and it was all supposedly comedians that are like headliners and been in the gang for 8-10 years. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, like I wouldn't even tell you if it was cap. Like I told you how bad it went at Rockford, I'll tell you how good it went. Like I watched them, bro. Like I'll do a show. Like my goal when I walk into a show is to fucking make everybody else look like shit. Not in a bad way, but I want to be the one to stand out.
Okay.
I want to be the motherfucker people go home and YouTube, Instagram,
Look your ass up.
look my ass up.
Yeah.
Like, and you gotta have that lion mentality. So there's a lot of comedians that I mean, they're like, oh, it was all right. I did okay. Oh well, fuck all that, nigga. Like I'm doing this. Like this is my life. There's no plan B. Like I want to make it out this shit. Like I want to be a comedian for real. You feel me? Like in real life. So I want to live off this. So I'm not gonna play with it. So I do shows and I be trying. Like I said, I did that show on Sunday and it went so good. Like I felt like people didn't even give a fuck about the rest of the people that were there, which again is my goal. Now you do get humbled quick because you'll do shows at the Laugh Factory with a motherfucker that opens up for Dave Chappelle, another motherfucker that's touring right now nationally, another motherfucker that's on Netflix. So it'll be all people that are on TV. And then they throw me up there randomly. I'm a motherfucker from Aurora. You feel me?
Fuck
So
yeah.
it kind of lets you, like, it reminds you, hey, there's still a long road ahead of you, but I'm blessed to have the opportunities that I got, like, right now doing what I do. So, yeah, it's just, like, being in the same circles, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, sometimes we'll be at the Laugh Factory. Craig Robinson will be there, the guy from, The Office or whatever. Like, random-ass people will pop in. I did a show at Zany's. Ellie Wong was there. She told me I had a good set. I mean, that bitch is on Netflix, was voted #1 comedian in the world, like, 2 years in a row. Like, you feel me? Like, it's just like, it lets me know, like, you're in the circle now. But it's just a matter of, like, now you got to work your way up the ladder, you feel me?
Yeah.
And I understand that it takes time and practice and definitely hustling. Everybody could talk about hustling. Everybody can say, oh, I'm doing this, and that. But if you're really not working and really not looking for new opportunities and new material and getting better, then you're going to stay in the same place. You're going to stay running in place.
Fuck yeah. Exactly. It's igualito, güey. The
Yeah,
whole fucking the comparison. Like I was eager to hear from you, bro, because, like I said, I mean, comedy intrigues me. I was sending Bart fucking around. Like I'm gonna have to bring my comedy game tonight and shit. But más que nada, I wanted to hear the business side of you being a performer in that scene of the comedy and how it worked and how your numbers work and how your sets and all that shit and how you prepare away.
Yeah, and it's like as far as like getting booked too, like getting booked on a show is so hard, like because a lot of these people give opportunities to their friends. You become
Right.
like for example, if you're a music producer and you're also a show promoter, if you book a show, most than likely you're gonna put your homies on the show. It's like, oh here,
Correct.
we got this band touring. So I'll get all my homies to open up for them so we can all get the opportunity, Same thing as these people will put shows together, book a touring comedian, and then book all their homies to open up. Yeah. So
Okay.
it stays very in-house. It's kind of, we call them gatekeepers, right?
Okay.
People at the Laugh Factory. It's always, you look at the lineup every night, it's the same people, you feel me? And it's like, man, when the fuck are you gonna let new people get up there? So that's really the hardest part, is breaking into the scene, like getting
in
there,
that circle.
Getting in the circle. Once you're in the circle and they're throwing you dates every once in a while,
Yeah.
that means they know you're funny and they just want to see you earn it. I'm at that level right now where it's like I'm getting little dates thrown at me and shit. So that's why I'm like, I gotta prove myself. And then from there, that's when you become a regular. Once you become a regular, that you're like on one-on-one basis with the club manager, what you do is every month you get all your dates, like your calendar. I'm sure you guys do the same when you're not booked.
Yeah.
You send them, hey man, look, these are the dates that I'm
I see.
available.
Okay, yeah.
And then he sends you, okay, I want you here Thursday, Friday, Sunday, 2 shows, and then that's how you get your work, your work. So that's how you get your club work. And then private gigs, that just comes and goes. Yeah. The good thing about the colleges is like once you get into one, they kind of come. Because people hear about it, administrators hear about it, and right now I've only done 2, but it kind of came back to back, and I want to get those more.
The college scene.
The college scene.
That's got to be like a tour in itself, right? A little fucking, you start going to one college to another.
Eventually people start touring. Like most of the comedians here, like they'll go like on the weekends. They'll go up to Madison, Wisconsin. They'll go up to Milwaukee, down to Nashville. So that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to also work my way towards that. You kind of start off in the Midwest. The thing about it now is that there's the internet, bro. So there's a lot of comedians that were open micers, what we call them, like beginners, are called open micers because they kind of only perform at open mics.
Right.
Though, like a lot of these people are really funny, but they don't have to put in the work because TikTok or Instagram Reels, if you get a good video of you doing a good joke in front of a good crowd and it goes viral, you could really become a sensation overnight. Now, a lot of times these comedians are not ready because they're new, so the internet just kind of shoots them into fame. But a lot of people do capitalize off it and just become touring comics and kind of skip the whole, I guess,
The
progress,
struggle part, yeah.
the struggle part, which is crazy, you know. So I'm still I'm trying to earn my stripes in the community, but at the same time, I'm dipping my toes into the internet. Like right now, I uploaded on TikTok, like shit, because if one of them take off, I'm ready, dog.
Did
like,
I send it to you? I didn't send it to you. He got some really good TikTok, the
Yeah.
Chinese food
Oh,
one,
Chinese food
man,
TikTok, too.
with the who let the folks in or
The
who let the
GDs.
GDs in. I'm not big on the new stuff, but I've seen that trending a lot. The GDs. dog.
Yeah, I did. That's the thing with TikTok is like it'll make you overnight like sensation. Like
Shout out the GDs.
Shout out my homie. Shout out the GDs, man.
Yeah.
But
We
like
had
my
63rd,
homie,
bro.
he did a TikTok and that shit went stupid viral. Like he got like 40,000 followers on TikTok now.
Oh, no
So it's
shit,
like damn, like you could really get that following overnight, and it's like now those are just eyes on you. So you really now you gotta, like, for example, I did a Chinese food TikTok where all it says it's like you forgot when the Chinese spot forgets to give you a fork, and it's just a plate of food, right? And then I put the GD song over it, and then I just do the GD sing, and then I just dip it into the Chinese food, right?
Wow.
Which is something so dumb, but it's almost at a million views.
It made some
It's almost at a million views.
Damn.
Just
It got-
a million.
Yeah, it got like 50,000 likes.
Yeah.
So from there, I just uploaded my stand-up bit today, and now the people that follow me because of that one are watching my stand-up.
Hell yeah.
So now, you feel me? Like, you just kind of go down a trickle-down effect. You can kind of, it's helping you skip ladders in a way, you feel me? Yeah. But
Fuck, I gotta download TikTok. Well, I have it, but we gotta start a TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's where it's at right now, man.
man, TikTok will blow your podcast
Yeah.
up, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people who were there. You guys probably know them. You know those kids that had that TikTok where they talk about music and they just only talk about like almost corridos tumbados and like new stuff.
Augusto Papa, is that the one?
Yeah, is it them? Okay, so those kids.
Like three fucking.
It's like three little
Dumbass
kids.
young kids,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like young kids. Well, they started like in their room, bro. And now, because of TikTok clips, I mean, now they got a studio.
Yeah, they got a badass fucking studio.
I mean, they got the actual artists sitting in as guests.
Yeah.
So those kids didn't go to fucking school for journalism or interviewing
Right.
people. But shit, they blew up on the internet. So TikTok will, and I feel like you guys, I mean, Guac Pod and all that, you guys got the content to really start clipping it up into minutes. Or just 1 minute, bro. 1 minute of a good conversation, bro. Put that shit up, bro. You'll take off, bro. It's really the wave, bro. You gotta move with it, because if not, you'll get left behind, bro. Look at all the people that became famous off Vine. I mean, the Paul brothers, they're doing big boxing matches now, getting millions of dollars off of 6-second clips, bro.
That's where they came, right? The
Yeah,
Vine.
off of 6-second clips. So they took that opportunity and capitalized off it. Now, yes, of course, they're celebrities, whatever, but it's because of that. So you either can crash and burn, or you could fucking make an
lift up.
enterprise.
Yep.
You feel me?
No, I agree, man. Actually, that's we have Georgie, the guy that helps us here. He's actually building that Guacpod clips, because I see everybody got clips and shit.
You need the clips.
It's like a separate channel to it too and shit. But yeah, porque de ahí lo mandas al main one, right? Pretty much. So go and check out go catch the full episode at the other fucking bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a commercial. It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a commercial because then people are like, "Oh, that's fucking stupid. Let me go listen to the whole thing."
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And yeah, that's all it is, bro. But I mean, yeah, it's a commercial. It's just a commercial. It's a 1 minute commercial, and usually it's like a movie. A movie, you can literally watch a preview and you know what's
Watch
gonna happen.
the movie.
Whole movie. Like I know that I can see the whole movie through this fucking preview. But now you're gonna go see it because the preview was good,
Right.
even though you know what the fuck's gonna happen. You feel
Exactly.
me? So the thing is, the podcast is gonna be the same shit. The funniest moment is probably gonna be that little clip you already put out and they already saw. But now you got that play. That plays what counts.
Fuck yeah.
You know.
¿Cómo ve, compa?
Fucking TikTok. We're coming for you.
You gotta open that shit tomorrow for con Puros
fuck
Compas.
yeah. Fuck yeah.
It is like a movie. I actually was just talking to my wife. She was watching this documentary on Brittany Murphy. I don't know if you guys seen that. And I'm like, stop watching it. She just dies at the end. So it's like pedo, güey. She does though. I think she does.
That's like, for example, that's the thing. Another thing, like with Narcos. Narcos, like I've had people say, "Oh my god, I don't know what's gonna happen next season." What do you mean? This shit's based in the '80s.
Yes.
Google it, you'll find out what happens. He dies, just like all of them. So it's like shit that's based on truth. You know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
and you still get hooked, and you still in there.
You still want to see it.
The marketing was so good that you're
Yeah,
watching that.
fire.
Shit, you feel me?
Narcos.
Even though
Speaking of Narcos,
this
New
season,
season?
I don't know. I
yes.
don't know.
I'm on episode 2.
That season
I'm
starts
already-
off so slow, bro.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The same
I'm
shit.
like,
It's-
dude, like,
it started off way
Narcos,
too
like,
slow.
Every
For the
other
third
every other season, you're hooked. You're hooked.
Yeah.
That one is like, God damn, am I gonna keep watching
Is
this
this-
shit? I don't
this
know.
is
For
the last
third
one,
season,
right?
it should have been like bad. They should have fucking hit it fast right away, but they didn't wait. I felt the same exact fucking way.
I can't
felt
get used to the
slow.
guy who plays El Chapo. Like he's just too like.
I do like the fucking character.
Like, why is his voice so
yeah.
squeaky though? It's like,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hey, but I was checking out Narcos and a whole bunch of like other fucking así ese, that type of shit. Is it me, bro, or is it at the end of the fucking day? Like almost all of them snitch on all of them.
yeah,
They did. Well, they were all turning on each other. And
Like
shit,
everyone.
Yeah.
But that's what that's what every.
But that's like
Yeah.
every mob fucking movie too at the end.
That's what everything every time everybody
time?
every
Everybody's snitching.
criminal is because of a snitch.
Yeah.
If there was no snitches, there would never solve any fucking cases.
Yeah.
But there's always that one person that fucks everything up. And whether it's a whistleblower for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, it's because somebody told. Obviously, snitches are good. If there's a fucking house that you see from here through the window and you keep seeing that they keep bringing underage girls in there, I would want you to call the police. Hey, like, ain't some shit going on in
Fuck
there.
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, the snitching also trickles down to drug dealing and money laundering. And, of course, people at the end of the day are selfish, and you're only going to look out for yourself, bro. That's 100% true. I don't give a fuck when nobody says. Everybody can say, oh, I'm for my team, I'm for this, I'm for that. When you're in that interrogation room or when your life is on the line, you're always going to choose yourself over anybody else. Unless, of course, if you have kids and a family, then I can see yourself putting yourself second, right, for kids or a wife. But your homie, fuck out of here. I'm telling.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but like people are telling. You feel me?
We
Like
had-
people are going to tell.
Fucking first 48.
Nobody's gonna
Everybody's
say, "Oh, I'm a
snitching.
snitch." Exactly. Watch, motherfuckers get to snitching before they even. Right.
Fucking they solved it right away.
Them motherfuckers
yeah.
got like 72 seasons.
Right, episode-
Motherfuckers still snitching every
Right.
time.
Like, motherfuckers snitch within the first 10 minutes.
Bro.
Like it's like motherfucking detectives got 37 hours to burn now. They're like, we don't even know. We don't even know what the. We already
Meanwhile-
solved the whole case.
Meanwhile, back at headquarters,
Yeah.
fucking doing some stupid shit. I was talking to this about Georgie earlier, and Georgie told me, "Don't worry, don't worry, bro. If the feds get me, I'm gonna give them fry. I'm gonna give my partner.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I won't give you up. I'm like, you're a fucking dick, man.
And
Right.
people, there's people that really work like that. They have collateral, you know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of these big narcos, they'll be like, well, I'll give you this, and that.
Yeah,
Chicago gangs, Chicago drug dealers, they're like, oh, well, I'll give you him. Like, oh, they're giving their competition, you feel
Fucking
me?
corruption.
A lot of times that people get, when you see these feds do these massive cases, it's
Somebody
because
gave it
somebody
up.
told. Like,
Yep.
the reason they even started looking into that mafia or that organization is because somebody told. They gave them up for a lesser sentence or just to be an informant.
well, that's where I'm fucking like in awe, bro. Like, how is it like the generation and the community and nosotros los paisas, we kind of like fucking adore that fucking lifestyle, right? But at the end of the day, like they're snitching at the end, bro. Like everyone ends up snitching and shit.
Because everybody we only glorify the positives, right? Everybody wants the big houses, the young women, the drugs, the partying, but nobody ever glorifies like the jail time, the fucking, the killings and
Yeah.
all the other shit. You feel me? Like I feel like if there was less documentaries about how good they live, or less Instagram accounts with narcos with gold-plated guns, and more Instagram accounts with a motherfucker sitting in prison for 40 years, 50 years. Like, I feel like that's when people, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way of knowing,
They only show the good.
of knowing what the feeling is that you're about to do so many years in prison until you're sitting in that room. You're like, okay, fuck this, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then that's also bad. I feel like as a grown man, you should know, like, that's one thing that pisses me off about snitches is like, you as a man chose that lifestyle. You knew what was gonna come.
What the
God
fuck is
damn.
that?
God damn.
What is going on there?
JV rolled a
These
fucking dookie.
motherfuckers.
But yeah, like you know what you're getting into. Why would you
I
tell?
don't know what the fuck these dudes just fucking.
Is this the
lit
mic
up.
or the blunt? God damn.
I don't know. Watch out though. Hey man, funny story real quick. I know you know my boy Big Boy, right? Alex
Alex,
Ortiz.
yeah, Big Boy, yeah.
That motherfucker. I was talking to him and I'm like, hey, let's go to the pod, bro. And fucking Kenji's coming. He's like, oh shit, yeah, that fat motherfucker. When she started, I'm like, man, that's fucked up. How's one fat guy gonna say fucking talk shit about another fat guy? But I guess it's cool, right?
Trust
it's cool.
me, the best thing a fat guy can do is talk shit about another fat guy. I walk around all day trying to find a motherfucker bigger than me just so I can talk shit.
I gotta put you
Fat
out.
piece of
This
shit.
motherfucker said.
Like, wow.
This motherfucker said, hey, watch out. Tell that motherfucker you better not bite the mic.
Wow.
Talking about put a cage on the mic. Damn.
Hey, you know
Taking
what?
shots, bro.
Shout out to my homie Big Boy. Like every time growing up, I was always like, well, as long as I'm not as fat as that motherfucker, like,
Hey,
I'll be okay.
my boy
I'm all
cute
good.
though, man. My boy cute though. He got colored eyes and shit. You know, little teddy bear. That's what Carlos called little
He's
teddy
700
bear.
pounds.
Shit.
Fuck out of
Hey, he lost 80 though. My boy lost 80 last
here.
year.
Under his titty or where?
Wow.
Shout out my homie Big Boy, man.
Hell yeah.
Shout out Big Boy.
Why the fuck didn't he come then, that fucker?
He's a pussy. That's why.
Wow.
That's our boy though. Shout out Big Boy, motherfucker.
Damn, Bart.
I'm about to
Look
hit
at you.
this big ass fucking. No, ese güey sí está pesado.
What do you guys think about the Astro World Fest?
Oh, that was kind of crazy, right? What do you think? I mean, there's all this
It's like,
all
whoa.
this talk and shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, they killed 8 people died at the
Yeah.
concert, you know? It's like, I mean, it's like people trying to, I guess what people want is to find somebody responsible, you feel me? But it's like, how? Who the fuck do you blame?
Yeah.
I mean, you could only blame the artist so much, like, but was he in the crowd? Like, no, he's performing, you feel me? Like, it's almost like an act of God, you know? Like, it sucks to say, but it's an accident. It's tragic.
It's tragic for sure.
Yeah, it
Fuck
sucks.
yeah, man. They were fucking. I read they were like a stampede kind of, right? Like people stepping on people and shit.
Yeah,
and-
it was trampled. Like, people, like, literally got stepped on to death. Like,
Yeah.
And I mean,
That's
I'm
nuts,
a
man.
big motherfucker, obviously, but I being around just being around that many people gives me anxiety, bro.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like 50,000 people. Like, I'm also kind of claustrophobic and shit, so I'll fucking pass the fuck out, bro. Like,
Do you have a show on Black Wednesday by any chance? That you might know of?
no, I have one the day before, bro.
Okay.
I have one the day before on Tuesday. I'll be at the Comedy Shrine, but no, Black Wednesday I'm actually off as of right now. But if it changes, I'll let you know.
Well, if you don't, you stop by. I'm gonna be out in Aurora.
Oh yeah, we got La
Oh.
Sierra, bro. We got La
We got La
Sierra
Sierra.
going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What's going on there?
yeah.
Yeah, we have but un baile. We have Secta.
Okay.
I don't know if how familiar you might be with.
I know Secta.
The little
I mean, I don't know
hot
them,
one.
but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know who that is.
Con eso,
Dorado
bro.
show.
Puro party a la verga.
Y
You already know how
Dorado
it is.
show for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, fuck it, I'm down. I don't got shit going on that day, so I always be getting blasted that fucking day, bro. That's my favorite day to get fucked up, dog.
That's a good day to like.
Like out
that's
of
a good
all the
day,
days
yeah.
in the year, bro, that Wednesday I get fucked up. Like,
Hey, the whole black
Bro, why
out,
don't you
know?
invite Ken to do the fucking the toad with you? Have you fucked
You ever
around
heard
with
about
that, or
that
no?
shit?
what's up?
5-EMO DMT, the toad. Mike Tyson talks about it a lot. He's not big on his podcast.
I'll do it though. What's up?
Hell
This
yeah!
dude's just down to do. He's just
I'm
down to
down,
do drugs
I'm
for
down,
sure.
bro.
Yeah, it's not a drug though. It's not a drug though, dog.
What is it?
I mean, you're gonna trip,
Yeah, I mean you're gonna
but you would
hallucinate
call
for
we
sure.
call it more.
Like you heard like
I see it
ayahuasca
as
and shit like
a
that.
medicine.
Oh yes, the one that goes up
Yeah.
your nose like. And then well, not that one, but you know what I'm talking
No.
about. Like the Nelk Boys
Is
did
that
it,
how you-
right?
Is that how you do ayahuasca? I'm not sure.
Ayahuasca's like a tea. Yeah.
Oh, I heard some comedian talk about
This
it
nigga
though.
is snorting it.
No, there was that's some other shit I was talking about. That not
Yeah.
not
That's some
that,
other white
not
powder.
that. No, y'all gonna think I'm fucking
He was
crackhead.
still talking about the violent shit.
Dude, no,
Yeah.
fucking, I know, but yeah, I heard some comedian was talking about that.
The toad, yeah, bro.
Ayahuasca or some shit like
Oh,
that.
ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca,
that shit, yeah.
Yeah,
She
that's
said
like
that she was having revelations and shit.
re-
Yeah, it's
revelations.
like
yeah,
it's a
well,
hallucinogenic.
that's kind of that, bro. It's they call it like an ego killer and shit. So if you thought you've been humbled before, that shit. Mike Tyson
it'll
says
ground
that,
you.
yeah. Mike-
I've never done like I talk about drugs and shit, but I've never done like acid. I've never done shrooms.
Oh, you never done shrooms?
Never done shrooms, so I feel like damn, I'm scared to do some shit like that. And then like I realized like, oh, actually, you're not a good comedian.
Bro,
Like, you should quit.
I tried.
I'm like, fuck
I
that.
tried to do shrooms like 3 times when I was younger, bro, and I could never put them down. They were just so nasty. Dog. They were so nasty. I remember trying them like with like a zebra cake and shit.
Fire.
And I still couldn't.
Zebra cake, you couldn't?
Yeah, zebra cakes are my
eat
shit.
I'll eat anything.
I think
Put that
Next
shit
to
in
zebra
there.
cake, I'll eat that shit.
I think we have to jump into that, my boy. What do you like? You're gonna have to put this dude up on some spots, bro, because I don't know how you feel, but A-Town don't really have.
This guy always tells me A-Town does not have a lot of good like.
Well, not a
eating
lot
spots.
compared to the city, because
Wait,
you live in
yeah.
the city,
What
though, right?
are you talking about? The food?
Food, yeah,
Food?
food.
Yeah, he's like food or drugs, bro.
Nah, yeah, that's literally what I was like, good one. Like, when food, I mean, Chicago, yeah, I mean, I'm low key, like, you're right, Aurora doesn't have that many, but that's what I'm saying. I'm grateful for Chicago being so close because
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
all the other cities in the fucking country, Chicago got the best food.
That's
and
for
it's
sure,
not
bro.
even up for debate.
There you
I've been
go.
to LA,
Hell
I had all the supposedly quote unquote best spots, trash. It ain't nothing. Like, it's just mid. It be mid, you feel me? Chicago, bro, you go with the mainstreams even, like at the Tonilco, just Mexican food, bro. I mean, fucking, what's it called? The other one, Aguascalientes. I mean, some of the other places. I mean, talking about pizza.
Yeah.
There's so many mom and pop pizza joints out here.
Yeah.
Like pizza that be real A1 pizza, bro. Not obviously Giordano shit like that. Like, on top of that, we got
Yeah, that's
yeah.
crazy that people come here and they think that's
Nah, fuck out
Giordano's
of
the
here.
shit.
No.
style, right?
Yeah.
No,
That's
you
not
got to do
Chicago
the thin
style.
crust Chicago style.
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
you feel me? You might get shot when you get it, like type shit like that.
Hell yeah.
And then on top of that, like we get a lot of people don't even appreciate all the like Portillo's type joints or like the Euro spots. You feel me? Like the pizza puff spots. All the play like all that
Pero a
shit.
poco, there's nothing that hard out there in Aurora
Hell,
like that.
no, I mean, there's stuff like that, but not like in every corner.
Yeah, not like
not
quantity,
multiple.
You know? Yeah, that's the
no.
bad part.
I mean, right here in Chicago, you could walk into a corner store and walk out with a six piece fried hard. You feel me? I used to go to the when I used to live out here. I
you
used to
lived
go to
out
the
here, right?
fucking
Yeah.
I used to go to the corner store by my crib. My hot Cheetos used to have fucking carne molida, cheese, jalapeno. Like nigga, I walk out with a whole dish. You feel me? Like what the motherfucker? I forgot what the fuck my mom sent me to get. You feel me?
Hell yeah. Y la leche? I don't know.
That's what I went for.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my boy, you should have just.
Fuck.
Are we laughing a lot? I feel like we're laughing a lot.
No, we're good.
Or we just high.
You guys are a little high. We're a little high.
A little high.
That's the whole.
Yeah,
whole
but
point.
But A-Town, that's why I love. I mean, I don't mind the fact that I gotta come back here fucking 3 times a week.
Bro, that's what I'm
Because
saying. Us either.
We
gotta
always
be,
get some great fucking food.
Dude,
out here,
we
bro.
gotta be out here for like if I got 4 shows in a week, you feel me? We gotta literally come back out here, and it's like we'll get some random ass food. Like we tried random ass places, just random ass places had some of the best gyros, some of the best food out here. Like I love Chicago food, bro. Like that's one of the things I miss when I'm out of town. Like if I go anywhere, I'm like, damn, I wish I really could eat a fucking fat ass gyro right now, or a fucking pizza puff, or a fucking whatever, dog. You feel me? Like. Pizza, people like, man, I must sound fat as shit saying this, but pizza is like we really don't like cherish it as much as we should. Like pizza is a luxury to have.
My favorite food.
To have this many to have this many good spots that have pizza this good. Like I literally, bro, when I go to Cali, bro, like these motherfuckers, like the best shit they got is like Pizza Hut. Like that's the best shit they got.
Yeah.
Other than that, you're gonna be eating
Papa
like if you go
John's.
anywhere else that say they got pizza, it's bar food, like bar type of pizza, like whack,
Fucking frozen pizza
whack,
and
bro.
shit.
Like Chicago really is like we blessed, bro. We blessed as fuck for real.
Hell yeah, man.
And Chicago foods too, like Italian beef, like I mean just chicken. I'm a real big fan of chicken, so like just chicken, bro, with lemon pepper. You feel me? Shit like that is iconic, bro. Like don't even get me started on the tamale ladies. You feel me? Like all the people that be on the blocks and shit like that. You feel me? Like a good champurrado, a good tacos de canasta. You feel me? Like you ain't gonna go nowhere else. Hey, Aurora don't got that shit for real.
Fuck yeah.
My parents come out here every weekend just to eat tacos de canasta, bro. Every weekend I'm like,
So do you guys have like a good carnita spot up there and shit like
boy,
that?
we just made carnitas in my garage last weekend, bro. We killed a fucking pig and
The best carnitas I've had is been
Don
at somebody's
Alfredo out
house.
Oh,
But yeah.
Don Alfredo, Melrose Park.
Melrose is
Melrose
good.
Park.
Yeah, they got good carnitas on there. I mean, they opened up a carnita spot downtown Aurora. It's called Carnitas de Puerca y de Puerco.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
I ain't never been in there. The best,
I
the
went in
best,
there
the
to have
best
some other
carnitas we'll get.
bullshit.
Like the best carnitas is like you gotta go to like a supermarket. You feel me? Like
Yeah,
one
the
of the
store.
little supermarkets.
Yep.
And I mean, you get the pre-cooked ones, but I mean, still though. It
I,
ain't,
I think that's the best place, La Chiquita. I
Paso
don't
Grande
know.
maybe like they got decent carnitas. Loki Palenque got good carnitas.
Yeah.
That's the Loki. That's the
You
guy
know,
that came to make
yeah.
the carnitas in my crib. But
Hell yeah.
yeah,
the plug.
like, yeah.
And then what do you have coming up, bro? I mean, I know you got the. I mean, are you like yeah? Bust out the cat in there, bro.
Yeah, my bad. He's like, let me wrap this shit up, nigga. Before you freaking.
Yeah, so we can. But by the time this comes out, para no cagarla, ¿da?
Oh yeah, when will that be?
So that's
Like 3 weeks from now.
3 weeks
Yeah.
from God damn.
Yeah,
yeah.
this is, we got a few.
We have a couple of them.
Do my taxes in
front.
February. December, or should I just not do November at all?
What's 3 weeks from today?
Yeah, fuck.
Maybe the
Is it like the
20th,
30th?
30th.
So I think that's when it's gonna come out.
Tuesday, yeah, from today.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll promote this show. This show is actually a pretty good one. December 16th, I'm doing the super big show that they do at Joe's on Wheat Street. It's
Oh,
a
nice.
big-ass venue. It's with Mikey O, my homie Joey Villagomez, who was just on Comedy Central.
Do you know this guy, Joey Villagomez?
Yeah, that's like my big homie in comedy. You
You
feel
gotta
me?
link us up, man. I see him on my feed as well all the time.
Oh really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know about that, but I'm trying to get him on my shit. Nah, he'll do it. I'm sure. That's my homie. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
So, well, I'll be doing that the December 16th. If y'all not doing anything, y'all
Joe's.
me and Joey Villagomez are doing a show.
Nice.
Joe's on Wheat Street downtown.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be like a big comic like Christmas party.
What day is that, bro? And
December
can you-
16th. It's low-key a Thursday, bro.
Thursday.
That's
No, that's
better.
better.
That's even better,
I was
yeah.
hoping it was during the week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
December
we'll probably make
16th.
it out. Yeah.
And then if you guys are not doing shit New Year's Eve, like for the people listening or whatever, you want to
Oh,
go
yeah.
to a party. They have this like independent comedy club called the Lincoln Lodge on Milwaukee Avenue. It's like it's almost like they have like a whole bunch of private rooms like here, and then they just run different comedy shows in all the rooms. So no matter what
shit.
room you walk into, there's
something going
comedy
on,
shows. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty badass.
So on December 31st, we're gonna do one big ass party show, and I'm gonna be part of it. So if you guys don't got shit going on that day, come through. And then of course, other than that, I got some other shit. But that's pretty much it. December 16th, Mikey O show, Joe's on Wheat Street. Come through. Oh, and then I guess promote my podcast or
Yes, sir. That's I was going there next, man.
I was like,
Hell
oh, is
yeah.
that it, bro?
And your
That-
social medias, man.
You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter, Ken Flores 300. My podcast is Talking My Shit Podcast. On Instagram, we're on YouTube as well as Ken Flores. And man, shout out Guac Pod, shout out Puros Compas for having me, man. Real talk, it was a great experience. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
Bart,
yeah.
what you think, man?
Man, bro, I that's why I wanted him out, bro. I wanted him out. I knew this dude was he's hustling, bro. Now that we're just on that topic real quick, bro, I hope you listen to the episode that comes out before this one. Our boy Ron, right? No. Or Ron's comes out next week.
Yeah.
Just look for the episode with our boy Ron Rodriguez, bro, that was hustling. Same thing, bro. And he's doing big things now, man. So I know you're on the same track, bro, because you're hustling. You're getting after that shit. And fucking nothing but, I wish you nothing but success, bro.
Yeah, man, I
fucking
appreciate
put
it.
8 on the
Likewise,
map.
man. Likewise,
yeah.
bro. Because like I said, it's like when Chief Keef made it. You feel me? Like only one motherfucker need to make it.
Yeah.
Because once he opens that fucking floodgate, we all make it. So
Yes, sir.
Hell
shit,
yeah.
it's a race to the top, man. Let's get
Fuck
it.
yeah, bro. It was a pleasure meeting you, man. I'm
likewise.
gonna guarantee you it's not gonna be the last time, bro. That you,
for sure.
For me, I hope that you become like our comedy guy.
Shit,
here,
I'd
you know?
love to come around whenever you guys
Yeah,
want me,
bro.
bro. It was a great time. Like I said, like sometimes we gotta be real picky with guests on podcasts because sometimes when y'all don't click, it could be real like awkward. The time could go real slow. But when the shit click, you know, you have a good time. Like right now,
I hope you had a
honestly,
good time,
I feel like
bro.
I'm at home and shit. I feel like I know y'all forever.
There you go. I mean, we did smoke a whole bunch.
Yeah.
No, but we're glad you
Smoking
came through,
session
man.
was heavy.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, man.
And like I said, I know you're gonna come back. We're gonna bring you back. Shout out to the smoky section. Jose
sure,
Serme on
for
the
sure.
sound.
Yeah. Shout out JV that
was
came
that,
out with
rolling
our
that
boy
big
Ken.
fat ass fucking
Big
finger,
fucking-
G.
King Kong fingers.
Hell
That
yeah.
motherfucker has me fucking
Hey, follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify at Con Puros Compas Podcast.
everything. Facebook, Instagram.
Oh, in
us out.
January. No, this is November 30th. Wait, we still have a whole fucking
We
month.
still got
bro.
another month, Jose.
Yeah.
That's the sound guy.
Yeah,
that's the sound guy.
But anyway, bro, subscribe. Go subscribe. Starting in January, we do go video. Subscribe on Con Puros Compas Podcast. Be on the lookout by the time this comes out, the 30th. El Guac Pod Season 4 should be out, so check that out. Keep following us. Thank you. Go read a book, learn something. La pura
Hell
positiva,
yeah.
viejones.